but I'm very passionate about where I live and about the Gulf of Mexico. And so when I was asked by Casey Calloway, who is the executive director of the Mobile Bay Keepers on the Alabama Gulf Coast, we do have what, 40 miles, I think. We've got 53 miles. I cannot tell you how many people have come into my restaurant, and 750,000 people around the United States come into my restaurant every year, by the way. It started as 40 little seats, and now it is got about 400. But I cannot tell you how many people said, I had no idea there was a beach in Alabama. And I said, yeah, we kept it a secret for a while. You know, when I was born in Mobile, Alabama, to Mississippi-born parents, exactly, my mama born in Crystal Springs, my daddy in Pascagoula, my mama grew up in Gulfport, my daddy in Pascagoula, and I went to my grandmother's there every year. All three of us, there are 3 children. There are 3 children in my family. Yes, we do have a middle sister. You do exist, Laurie. We would go to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and the big adventure was New Orleans, and we went to Maison Blanche, and my mother, you know, I have sea captain grandfathers who sailed in and out of there. It is not a state by state. It is a region, and it is a region for people that live there. And I say, you know, when I was born way back, 57 years ago, gosh, I was at the same time I became a daughter and a sister, the first thing I also became was a citizen of the United States of America. Now, y'all, that just chokes me up here, because being in Washington, you just really are reminded, and I am so reminded of how grateful I am to live in this country. So we're all in this together. Anything that happens to any part of our country happens to all of us. And as Americans, we've always gone. I mean, and I also live like most of these women. Are right in the hurricane corridor. You know, you start helping each other right away. And I think that's what's one of the beautiful things about what we do as citizens of this country. And I think sometimes we forget about it. And I was, you know, you want to know how to cook a gumbo? I am your go-to girl. You want to know the health of Mobile Bay? Casey's the go-to girl. So I'm not really political, but this is a no-brainer for me. This is manners 101. You mess up something, you go clean it up. I'm just straightforward. You hurt somebody else's property, you go pay for it. You know, you fall. I mean, I've learned in my business, when you do something wrong, the first thing you do is say, I messed up. And you fall on the sword, and immediately the temperament of the whole situation becomes one where people work together. And that's what I am so delighted to be a part of, have been invited. Women of the Storm, I had read about it. I was so admiring everything that had been done, and then for it to expand to include for this disaster, but also from what I hear from any disaster that occurs in our country. So I am just saying, practically, it's always first things first. When I have a huge problem at my restaurant and I've got 300 employees in a town of 8,000 people, I say, you know, I get a bunch of problems, just like, and practically first things first. Well, the first thing, I could not believe, first of all, I was like, what do you mean we got to go, what do you mean it's not coming back to us automatically? I really was quite astonished, because I'm not highly educated in civics and that kind of thing. I let the experts do that. But I'm concerned, and I love where I live, and I thought, well, of course. So the first things first, this is about all of us getting together to get that 80% of those funds. It should go back to the states that were affected. That's all. I mean, it's just it's just common sense right thing to do. That's really why I'm here. So I'm here for all of us, and we're going to our Alabama elected officials who there is a Congressman Bonner always says, look, I work for you. And I say, good, thank you. So let's, I need them to get on board, and I think we're going to challenge all of our elected officials to get on board to make sure that that money just doesn't get washed somewhere else. It's a minuscule of money that would be applied to the deficit that I've been told. You know, they've given me some talking points. And I can talk. But it needs to come back, because this is about, as Ann so poignantly pointed out, what the Gulf of Mexico, and so many people who have no idea how we contribute to the overall economic and environmental health of the entire United States. So y'all, I am delighted and honored to be with you, and I'm here for good government.
And we're so glad she's with us and part of us.